Hello and welcome to my first yoga YouTube video. Just to give you guys a little idea of how new this is to me, I just recorded 5 minutes without actually recording anything. So we'll try it again. Anyways, my name is Katie and I have been teaching fitness classes for the last 13 years and teaching yoga for the last 5 years. I got my 200-hour certifications, 2 of them in India, about 5 years ago. And since then I've done workshops and retrainings here in California. And I'm doing these because right now a lot of us are confined into our homes and it's giving us time to, maybe one, a little bit too much time, we don't quite know what to do with ourselves, and two, that time to go inwards instead of always getting all of these, what is that called? Stimulation from the outside world, seeing all the people, getting all the billboards, all the driving, whatever it is that you do in your regular life. It's not always that we get that time to kind of check in with ourselves and see what's going on and how we're feeling mentally, physically, emotionally, and whatnot. So yeah, this is for anybody at all levels. Feel free to join in and not join in and take any variations that you might need. Let's give it a go. So, if you have a yoga mat, set the yoga mat up. If you don't, it's okay. It's not necessary. I like to begin with seated. It's nice if you can have a prop. A pillow works great, or even just a rolled up blanket. If you have a yoga block, you can use that as well. And we have a few different options for seated. I like personally cross-legged on the prop. The prop, the pillow, whatever it is that you're using, allows us to open our hips a little bit more and give a little lift to put our spine in a little bit more of a correct alignment. If that doesn't work for your knees or ankles or anything, it's fine to keep one leg bent, one straight, maybe both of them straight. Soles of the feet together might feel a little more comfortable for you. Otherwise, you can also come seated on the heels, and you can do that either with the toes tucked. And this gives a nice stretch to your feet, especially if they're feeling sore or anything like that. You can also release the toes and sit directly on the heels. If none of those feel comfortable, you can also take a block or a book or a rolled blanket, place it between the calves, and then come back down to be seated on that. And again, it does the same thing as the pillow. It gives us that lift and just makes the posture a little bit easier. So, we'll start seated. Any seat that you choose. If you do come into that cross-legged position, the benefit of that is that one, it gently opens the hips, and two, it opens all the channels in our body. So we have, if you're into the chakras, there are different energy points within our body starting at our tailbone and working their way up. And this allows us to have a clear and open channel. If you're seated on your knees, it's fine. You still have that clear and open channel. So come into that spot. Make yourself as comfortable as you can. We'll begin with a little bit of mindfulness, breath work, and just releasing and arriving in this space. So wherever your seated position is, take your palms face up on the knees or the thighs, and then if it feels comfortable for you, gently close the eyes. And to begin, notice any thoughts that are arising in your mind at this moment, and not judging or holding on to them, just noticing what they are and that they're there. And then for a moment, notice anything in your physical body. So any places that might feel really tight or tense or really good, or even things that maybe you don't think about or notice regularly. Might be your little toe or the top of your foot or the backs of the knees. Just drawing your awareness to your physical body. And just noticing that breath. If it's shallow, let it be shallow. If it's deep, let it be deep. But just noticing that it's happening. On your next inhale, breathe in through the nose. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let it out the mouth. Deep inhale through the nose. On this exhale, let it come a little bit longer than the inhale. 2 more. Inhale deep through the nose. Slowly exhale out the mouth. Deep breath in the nose. And slow exhale out the mouth. Let's take one more together. Inhale. And exhale. The next breath in, reach your arms out to the sides and up, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhaling, we draw the palms together in front of the chest. Take a moment here. You might gently press the tips of the fingers together, and maybe the base of the palms together. Just acknowledging that connection and that feeling. If you would like to set an intention for your practice today, go ahead and bring that in clear into your mind. So your intention might be something that you would like to invite into your life or let go of, or directing your energy towards something or someone. So hold that thought clear. And we'll begin with the sound of Om. Conjoin or listen. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale it out. Inhale to Om. Inhale, reach your arms out to the side, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Maybe you gaze up and you find that gentle back bend, chest opening. The next exhale, round the spine, start to reach the arms forward. Chin draws to the chest and fingertips might even touch. Then as you inhale, open the chest, reach the arms back. With your exhale, round the spine. Your eyes can be open or closed. And just keep moving with your breath. So one of the main, maybe the whole point of our asana yoga practice is to connect with that breath and start to feel the breath moving up. So as we inhale, we open the chest to make space for more air. And as we exhale, we round the spine, closing off the chest and the stomach to kind of expel that air. So a few more breaths. Meet on that next big inhale, reach the arms wide. As you exhale, bring the left hand down, and if you do the right hand, that's totally fine. Reach that opposite arm up, gaze can start to come up, and we pause here. So bring the awareness to that lower shoulder, either right or left, and just drop it away from the ear so we create space in the neck and the shoulder. And then extend that other arm up. And bring the awareness now to that opposite hip. You're kind of sending it down, and this just creates a little more length in our side body. And then one more thing that we want to notice in this position is where is that top shoulder? Sometimes it starts to cave in and we want to roll it back to create more space up here. So all about creating space. Inhale. And exhale, bring that hand down next to the bottom one. And we'll sweep the arms out in front. Maybe the fingertips touch the floor, maybe they hover right above. Bring the opposite palm down. Inhale, the other arm up. Gaze can be up or down. And again, dropping that bottom shoulder down to create space. Sending the opposite sit bone down towards the earth. And then rolling that shoulder back. And we have all that nice space in the chest and the side. Deep breath in. Exhale it down. We'll do the same thing on each side one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And then rise back to seated. Interlace the fingers atop of the head. Send the palms up towards the sky. As we breathe in, we're going to reach the arms up, sending the tailbone down. So the same thing, we're creating space in our side body and we're lengthening out the spine. And then maybe you even draw the arms slightly back for, again, a little bit more of a chest opener. And then as we exhale again, round the spine, send the palms forward, chin draws to chest. Moving with your breath, inhale. And as you exhale, round. Eyes can be open or closed. And that next deep inhale, exhale, release them down. Inhale, roll the shoulders up towards the ears. With the exhale, pull them back and down. Find those nice shoulder rolls. We might feel a lot of tension from working at the desk or just from all that is going on. And a lot of times we hold this tension up in our shoulders. We're gonna just kind of roll it out, check in with them, see how they're doing. And then roll them forward or just in the opposite direction that you were going. Now, inhale, bring the shoulders as close to the ears as you can, scrunching all that energy up. As you exhale, just drop them. Inhale, screech them up. Exhale, drop. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Deepest exhale yet. Nice. And now you can remove the prop, whatever you have, or you can keep it however you choose, however you feel. We're gonna take our legs wide. And then rocking forward a little bit, you lift the flesh away from the sit bone so that we're not sitting on our lower back or anything that's pulling on that low back. Flex the toes so that they come towards your body, and then slightly rotate them in, so they're kind of drawing in, and this just protects our inner groin. Fingertips find the floor, and you might just stay here and breathe. This might be a really deep stretch for you. If you are feeling back pain, lower back pain at all, go ahead and bring that prop, because that's going to take care of that. So if you can, press the fingertips into the ground to lengthen the spine, let the shoulder blades roll back down, and we take 5 breaths. You can either stay here or start to walk it forward. Just coming to wherever suits you. Again, 5 deep breaths. Slowly start to lift yourself back up. And then we bring the right leg or the left, whichever leg you choose to start with. Bring that sole of the foot to the inside of the thigh and bend the opposite knee. And then let's get our sides today. So you'll take your opposite hand to that bent knee, and then see if you can roll that shoulder back a little bit. It's probably gonna come forward a bit, and that's fine. Inhale the other arm up, and grasping onto that knee, we almost just fall over to the other side. A lot of times we're gonna wanna peel forward, but that's not what we're looking for. We wanna roll the shoulder back, again, to create space on that side. One of my good teachers always says it's not every day that we really get to stretch the sides so much in our daily life. We're usually in flexion or extension, so bending forward or back. One more breath. And then inhale, bring it back up. Nice. Now we come to the other side. So extend the opposite leg, bend the other one. Opposite hand, opposite knee. Shoulder draws back. Foot's flexed. We always want to keep that leg engaged even though we're not focusing on it as much. Inhale the opposite arm up. And before we bend, roll the shoulder back. Exhale, we fall to that side. And check again, where is the alignment? Just a couple breaths. Inhale, rise. And don't worry, if that stretch felt really intense, especially on the rib cage or the sides, almost painful, it's a deep side stretch, so it's gonna feel a little bit. And always go to the point of good pain. If it starts to really hurt, we want to avoid that. Come on to all fours. I'll do a little bit of cat-cow to wake our spine up. So you want the fingers spread wide. This gives us more support with the hand. The hands, when they're on the ground, are kind of like our feet. And then the knees want to be in line with the hips. And the knees want to be about 2 fists apart, or just right in line, again, with our hips. So press the palms into the mat. You can tuck the toes if that feels more balanced for you, or you can release the feet, whatever feels good for you. Actually, release the feet, and we'll wake up our calves a little bit more. So we're just going to tap them on the ground. This creates a little more blood flow to our feet, to our calves, and just wakes our body up. And then inhale, find some stillness. We press the mat away with the hands to create a little more space between the shoulder blades. And then we kind of draw our lower rib cage in so that we're not just releasing and we're keeping some engagement there. Now we're going to release. As we inhale, drop the stomach, open the chest, gaze comes up. Maybe there's a slight bend in the elbow. It's almost like you're sticking the booty out. As you exhale, round the spine, press the mat away with the hands, chin to chest. Inhaling to open. And exhaling to round. Again, you might close your eyes and just let that breath trickle through your body, moving from the base of the spine to the top of the head, and then vice versa. Take one more round. And we'll inhale into stillness. Press the right palm down. Breathe in, lift that left arm up to the sky, gazing up towards it if that's okay for your neck. If it hurts the neck, just gaze towards the ground. And then we'll find some circles in the wrist. Again, this just kind of lubricates our joints. And then let that circle transfer into the shoulders. So you're making big shoulders with the whole arm. And then find them in the opposite direction. And then inhale, reach it up. With the exhale, we'll do something called threading the needle. And that's where you bring that arm underneath the opposite arm. If you can draw the shoulder and the ear all the way to the mat, go ahead and take that. And then you can keep this hand there, maybe reach it forward for a little more support. You can also bring that hand, wrap it around to the other hip, and then use that leverage to roll this shoulder open. And then if you've been practicing this pose for a while and you want to make a little more challenge, Straighten the right leg, and then you'll start to lift that leg. But for to you, I kind of like it right here today. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, release down. Realign. Make sure wrists, elbows, shoulders all stacked in one line. Inhale the opposite arm up. And then again, we find those circles in the wrist. And then let those circles transfer through the shoulder. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread the needle, taking any variation that you choose. If your hand is placed flat, I like to press it into the ground to kind of put more pressure on, kind of rolling over more towards that side to increase the stretch. But if this is pretty intense, no need to do that. And then press that palm into the ground. Inhale, float the other arm up. Exhale, release down. Take the knees wide, toes come together. Exhale, sink the hips towards the heels, so they may or may not arrive. Reach the arms forward and place the forehead down. If for any reason this gives you any issues in the shoulders, for me I have a little issue in my left shoulder, so it doesn't always feel good. You have a couple other options. You can take the palms together and then place them over the nape of the neck. And that also allows a little more opening in the shoulders. Another option is to reach the arms back along the body. So we'll take a few breaths, just kind of going inward, feeling the belly rise and fall with each inhale and exhale. Slowly start to come out of that. If your knees are hurting, you can always get a blanket to place under them for support, or roll the mat over for a little extra support on the knees. Just one more posture in this position. Step the left foot, or whichever one you want to begin with, back so that the toes stay with the ground. As you exhale, press into the base of the palms, and you're going to send your weight into the heel. This is to stretch the foot, stretch the toes, and for me it's a nice big calf stretch. And then as we inhale, rock forward, so you're kind of moving forward. Exhale, send the motion back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale into a neutral. Take the opposite leg out to the side, so it's kind of like a kickstand. Roll to the inside of the extended leg and reach that arm up. Nice, supported side plank. Inhale, reach your arm up, gaze can be up or down. And then as you exhale, reach your arm forward so bicep comes by the ear, palm is facing down. And then again, roll that top shoulder back and let this bottom shoulder release away from the ear to create space. Option to lift the leg. 3 breaths. If you want one more option, bend the lifted leg, reach the hand back, find the foot. And then as you exhale, press the foot away, opening the chest, 2 breaths. Inhale, return to your starting. And as we exhale, back to the tabletop. I'm going to turn to the other side so that you can see. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. Extend the opposite leg back. And then press into the heel just for a breath or 2. And then we move with that breath. Inhale, rock. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Breathe into that neutral. Opposite leg comes out, roll to the inside of the extended leg. Let that arm come up, and then we'll take 6 breaths here. You can play with the different variations. You could hold just one, but reach the arm forward, palm face down, roll that shoulder blade back, or shoulder back, and let the opposite shoulder release down. 4 more breaths. And then bring it back down to your starting. From our tabletop, we'll tuck our toes and find our first downward dog of class. So the heels lift up, the palms, the fingers are wide, and the heels will melt towards the earth. They might not make it all the way to the bottom. You might even need a little bend in the knees, and that's perfectly fine. We're not going to do too many downward dogs because they're quite taxing on the shoulders. But we're going to walk this dog out. So bend one leg, straighten the other. Inhale, lift both heels up. Exhale, straighten the opposite leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, straighten. And then just moving with your breath. If you want to add any other movement, you can. Maybe knees start to kind of go diagonal. Or you might shake the head yes and no. And then let's all inhale, lift to the toes. Exhale, melt the heels to wherever they go. Take a gaze at the fingers and the hands. Press the thumb and the forefinger firmly into the ground. And you'll notice this action allows you to press all the balls of our fingers into the earth. 2 breaths. One more time, lift to the toes and tiptoe all the way to the top of your mat. When you find the top, you'll take your feet hip width apart, gentle bend in the knees, grasp opposite elbows and just sway side to side. Let the head be heavy. If you feel a lot of neck and upper back pain, you might interlace the fingers and take them on the nape of the neck. And then this allows a little more stretching. Sometimes it almost feels pain. Not pain, but intense stretching. Release the arms, deepen the bend in the knees, round the spine. We slowly roll all the way up to standing. And I'm too tall for the video. Nice. So, coming to the top of your mat, feet are hip width apart, in line with the knees and the hips. Palms are face open away from the hips. Fingers engage. Gently close the eyes. Inhale the shoulders up to the ears and exhale, let them come down the back. And then just pause here. Noticing that you're standing and how powerful that is that you can be here in this moment. And firm the feet into the ground. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Maybe the gaze slightly comes up. With an exhale, gentle bend in the knees. Fold, hinge over the hips. As you inhale, let the hands come to the calves or the thighs, but we're looking for that length and straight spine. If it's rounded, we're going to hurt ourselves, so we want to keep the length. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, ground down to reach your arms out and up. Gaze comes up. Exhale, we fold, and I'll show you one more variation. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. If you don't have the room to sweep your arms out, inhale, reach them forward. 2 more, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Root down to rise up. Last one on your own. chest, and then open by the hips. Nice. We'll start with a balancing posture. We already started. We'll find a balancing posture to really get our focus. So feet are hip width apart. And what you're going to do is find a focal point. We call this a drishti, but we can get into that later. So something that's solid and still and non-moving to keep your focus on. And then reach your arms up above the head, wrists, elbows, and shoulders stay in one line. Pinkies draw slightly in to release the inner shoulders. As you inhale, start to lift onto the toes, and we take 5 breaths. If you lose the focus or come out of it, no worries. Just slowly bring it back in. 4 more breaths. And exhale, heels come down, palms together, and then face open away from the hips. We're going to keep this really short today because it's the first one, and why not? So from the top of your mat, step the right foot, or if you want the left foot back, especially my left foot, all the way wide. Palms are face open, and you're making like you're a star. Your head is the middle of the stars, your arms and your legs are the tentacles, and then the toes are wider than the heels. As you exhale, send the hips back, bend the knees, hands come to the thighs. Inhale, press the palms into the thighs, lengthen the spine. With the exhale, drop one shoulder to one side, gazing over opposite shoulder. As you inhale, come in the center. With the exhale, opposite. 2 more on each side. Bring it into your center. Palms together, eyes can close or be open. 2 steady breaths. Inhale, press it up. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Take the toes so they're just slightly in from the heels. They can also be just parallel. I like it better with them slightly in. Press the palms together behind the back. And as we inhale, kind of let the palms drop down so you open that chest, not dropping into the low back, but just opening the chest. As we exhale, hinge at the hips, fold forward, and let the arms come wherever they can to just open up the shoulders and chest a little bit more. 4 breaths. Release the grip. Bring the hands out in front of you so they're kind of in line with the head. If they can't quite reach the ground, you can use that block or a book to place the palm on it, and sometimes it just feels nice to use that anyways. So bring the right palm or the left, whichever you want to start with. Press it into the mat or the block to create some more length in the arm and back. Inhale, reach that opposite arm up. And then bring it to wrap around to either the low back or the opposite hip crease. And then use, if it's on the low back, press into the low spine to lengthen out. And then also draw that shoulder back. If you have the bind, grasp to the inner thigh and draw that shoulder back. 3 breaths. And then bring it down. And rotate to face you. Opposite hand to the block or the ground, wherever you choose. Press it in. Notice before you press, or demonstrating this anyways, before you fully press, you're kind of slouching here. So you press, you lift. Inhale that arm up, and then exhale wherever you choose. And if it just feels better to keep it up, keep it up. 3 breaths. And then release it down. Hands to the low back, lift all the way up. Feet come together, shake it out, let it all go. Okay, actually before, because we're going to bring it down in just a moment, because this is just going to be a brief one. We're going to do something that's just kind of transferring our energy from one side to the next and wringing out anything that we don't need in this moment. So you're just swing your hands from side to side, swing the arms, twisting, maybe the eyes close, maybe you tap your shoulders, and just kind of, maybe you get the feet involved, just letting it go. Maybe you start to shake the hands, shake the arms, jump it up, shrug the shoulders, and come to your stillness. Last posture before you bring it down. Feet can be together or apart. If you have any low back pain, keep them apart. I just like them apart, so I'm going to keep mine apart. Inhale, let the hips sink low, arms lift up. Wrists, elbows, shoulders in one line, whether it's a diagonal line, straight line, horizontal. If this is hurting the shoulders, you can always cactus the arms. It just relieves a little pressure. So breathe for 3, 2. Here's a challenge. Sit a little lower for 3, 2, 1. A little lower. 3, 2, 1. All the way to the mat. Knees draw into the chest. And we take a couple rocks forward and back. Massaging out the spine. And then we arrive with the knees drawn in. And see if you can just give yourself a little hug. And just be grateful that you're here. And give yourself a little bit of that, or a lot of it of that love. We're going to interlace the fingers, take them over the right shin by the knee, extend the left leg all the way to the ground. If you can remember, keep that left foot flexed so the toes come towards you. And then as we inhale, breathe into the stomach, so much that you kind of press that leg away. And then as you exhale, draw it in to press the breath out. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Deep breath in. And exhale out. Inhale deep. Exhale, draw it in tight. Take your right arm out to the side, or whichever arm, and then take the knee across the body, opposite hand to the outside of the knee, and then let the gaze come in the opposite direction of the knee. A lot of times, this posture, people think it's the knee that wants to be on the ground and we kind of roll off, but that's not the case. You'd rather the knee not on the ground, but the shoulder to stay. Again, if it doesn't reach the ground, you can find that block or book or whatever it is that you have, maybe even just a fist, and then let the gaze come to the other side. 5 nice, long, deep breaths. Slowly roll it back. Grasp the outside of that foot or maybe the back of the knee. Bring it out to the side and just kind of moving the hip around. Extend that leg. Inhale, Interlace the fingers and bring them across the other top of the shin. Flex the extended leg foot. And for those deep breaths at your own pace. Remembering that the stomach and the leg move with the breath. Inhaling to create space. And exhaling to contract and draw and press the air out. 2 more. And after that 4th breath, bring that arm out to the side. Knee across the body. Again, if that shoulder is rising up, make sure you draw it back. And one side might be different than the other. For me, the knee will not touch on this side. And that's all right. And gently close the eyes if that feels okay. Into the center and let that knee come to the other side. Again, maybe you find the outside of the foot or the back of the knee. Kind of the knee wants to come to the outside of the body, making little circles. And then both knees come up, finding a happy baby. So you're grasping the outsides of the feet, or maybe peace sign fingers to the toes, or if it's more accessible, the backs of the thighs. Just rocking back and forth. This is a great posture to release any back pain, or lower back pain especially. And then, usually this is the last one, but I forgot one. So, we'll extend the legs straight in the air, flex the feet, and then bring the palms face open by the hips. And if you need to bend the knees, that's fine. This is a simple inversion, relaxing our central nervous system and kind of starting to calm us down. If you ever get insomnia and you can't get to sleep, doing this with your legs against the wall or having them come open is a great way to help with that insomnia. Slowly bend the knees, drawing them back in, grasp them. Maybe another little roll or rock or happy baby. And then we'll release into our Shavasana. Shavasana is pretty much what we work up to in yoga. So you want to be as comfortable as possible. For me, since it's cold, I like to cover myself with a blanket. Maybe just some socks or whatever it is. Maybe you're comfortable as is. When we do our Shavasana, our feet want to be wider than the mat to give us all the space that we can. Let the toes fall open to the sides. Traditional Shavasana has the palms face open away from the hips. But if you're feeling anxious or extra energy and you can't quite focus, you might draw them face down or hold a little sandbag in the hands or hands to the lower stomach. And this just helps us to ground. If you're feeling really sad and sluggish and not energized, keep the palms up to allow that energy in and to release the others. Gently close the eyes. And kind of that first thing that we did, just noticing any physical things in the body, doing a nice body scan, noticing what you're still holding on to. For me, I was tensing the shoulders. Maybe it's your jaw or your eyes or your toes, backs of the knees. And just releasing that. Knowing that all you have to do in this moment is to just be here and to breathe. Stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready, deep breath in. And exhale it out. In a moment to come back to your body. Acknowledging where you've been and where you are now. And let the head come from one side to the next. And the toes might start to move, circles in the ankles, the wrists. And with an inhale, reach the arms up above the head. Maybe point the toes, come side to side. And then bend the knees. And just roll to one side, any side that you choose. Head rests on the arms, the knees stacked, opposite hand on the ground. Notice this position, you're being completely supported by yourself and by the earth. And then start to slowly move back into any seated position that you choose with or without a prop. We'll draw the palms together in front of the chest and the eyes closed. Not acknowledging that connection between the fingertips and the base of the palm. And letting your intention come clear to the front of your mind. Take a deep inhale in. And a slow exhale out. And we'll end our practice today with one Om. Deep breath into Om. Om. And the light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope that the rest of your day goes well. And I hope you come back. Ciao.